Coming to you from one of the most resourceful, independent, and badass generations of all time. Welcome to the Gen X Brothers Podcast.
I understand that you're a bit of a coffee connoisseur.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee myself.
You don't drink coffee?
I'm
you've
not
ever
a
drank
coffee
coffee.
person. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm a fucking weirdo like that. But
Back in the day, I would drink the coffee if I didn't have any speed or whatever, or alcohol. Sometimes I even put alcohol in my coffee if I needed to. But
damn.
so lately, I've been drinking more coffee, but I only just have 1 or 2 cups a day. Probably most likely one. Usually only 1 in the morning. I'm good to go because I get the strong coffee.
Well, wait. So the reason you started drinking coffee is because you had to give up the Bang energy drinks, right?
Energy drinks because I got type 2 diabetes from it. So I gotta have some kind of energy. Yeah. Which I said
But it went away. So the type 2 diabetes went away as soon as you stopped drinking Bang energy drinks.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
I think we have a lawsuit on our hands,
yeah,
Eric.
exactly. Yeah, I mean it's not gone completely, but my level went all the way down to 6.8, which is 6.4 is normal, but it was 7.8 at the time.
Damn.
But yeah, so I started drinking coffee. I drink my coffee black. I don't drink it with sugar or cream. I never really was into that. I like it black.
You don't take a fucking latte mocha shit squeeze with a fucking cherry on top and shit?
If I'm going to go to Starbucks every now and then, I might get, and that's only if I'm like at Starbucks or something. But I really don't ever need coffee. Like, in other words, it's not like I go by like, oh shit, I better get a coffee. I'm feeling... I better go to Starbucks and spend $10 on a freaking cup.
I always found that weird. Like, some people, like, they go, oh, I got to have my coffee in the morning. If I don't have caffeine, it's like, who gives a shit? You either have it or you don't. I mean, it's nice to have a jolt. I drink soda every once in a while with some caffeine.
There's people that live at Starbucks, and this is like, but if I go to Starbucks, I'll get like the frappe or whatever, the with the chocolate and the whipped cream on it. And that's pretty good. But what's interesting about Starbucks, like even by my house, there's one at Target, there's one right next to Target, and then there's one across the street. Then there's one in the Safeway across the street, and it's just like, what the fuck? How do they need that many?
It's convenience, man. It's convenience.
Hey, Ma, I just started up my own Starbucks. Guess where it's at?
Yeah.
Right across the street from that Starbucks. Oh. It's like,
which is weird because I invest in Starbucks, and they're doing shitty as far as their stock goes. It's like, come on.
Probably because they have too many damn stores.
Yeah, but they're still selling lots of coffee. They're still making a fucking ton-ass profit.
Talking about coffee, I want to review and taste for the first time, one of our rock heroes. We talked about him on this show before. It's almost becoming a D. Snyder show at some point, but it is D. Snyder's coffee. For the love of coffee. If everyone could see that, there's D. Snyder. You got 2 sides. Now, this is an autographed bag. He was doing thing where he posted on his Twitter, like, first 300 bags, if you order, I'm going to autograph them. So he did. As you can see, it says, to Eric, one of the coolest dudes I've ever met on Twitter. And I heard your guitar playing, you're badass. So you can see real closely, like it says all that.
Oh, that's in the fine print.
Yeah,
huh?
He's got bad handwriting. Like, he's like me, with the bad handwriting. But
So listen, are you going to be able to taste the coffee when you take your tongue out of his ass? So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so if you wonder why the title is called For the Love of Coffee, anybody out there who's a D. Snyder fan would know that it's from his record, his solo album, For the Love of Metal.
Oh, yeah, I see the connection. I get it.
This is a badass record. You got to get that. And there's, I'm going to promote his albums here. For the Love of Metal Live. And then
Eric with his fucking extensive collection.
Yeah, and his newest album, of course, Leave a Scar, which is brilliant albums. I mean, every song, I've listened to like a lot of bands, a lot of metal, and there's always some filler songs. There's some songs you'll skip or whatever, but every song on those albums are like, there's no filler. Every song is just like in your face, melodic, heavy. Yeah, just great stuff. So I'm going to try his coffee for the first time. I got a nice pot here brewed up, and we're going to just taste it.
All right.
And I have no problem telling you, D, if you're watching this, that if it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks.
Yeah, so you better. If it sucks, you better come on the show and explain yourself.
Right.
And if it's great, you better come on the show and praise us.
I'm a coffee pro now. I'm a coffee connoisseur now.
Does that mean you're going to spit it out? Now, with D. Snyder and his solo work, does he have like a...
You see the grains there.
Oh, nice.
Does he have the wet?
Does he have like a signature guitar player? You know how like Ozzy has Zach Wilde?
Yeah.
Does D have like a signature band that he plays with, or is it always different people?
He's got the two brothers, Charlie and I'm really bad with names, but the two brothers, one's on the drums and one's on guitar, badass guitar player, got a bass player. So what happened was when he did For the Love of Metal, he's got a couple solo albums before Love of Metal, and they were more like kind of just standard rock, kind of, I would say a little bit heavier version of Twisted Sister. But then he wanted to get into some metal. He really wanted metal, but he didn't know if he fit into the metal world, in the current metal world, you know, even though so he got together with Jamie Josta of Hatebreed, who's a producer and produces a lot of bands, and he put all of his trust into Jamie Josta to put together a band and write these songs that he could sing. Because, you know, Dee Snider's a songwriter himself. You know, he wrote one of the biggest anthems in the world that we're not going to take it. For him to take a step back and a seat back and to trust somebody else to write this stuff for him. And they actually wrote the perfect music for him. And he's had the same band since for the last album. So he's got Charlie and I forget the drummer's name, but they're brothers, badass players. And so Dee Snider, I do apologize if I can't remember your guys' names, your band members' names. I'm just really bad with band names.
It's okay. We're old. We don't remember shit. Man.
I know Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Peter Criss, Ace Frehley. I think I know all the guys in Journey.
I don't know all the guys in Journey.
Whatever their names are, they're just badass, and
I can't remember all the guitar players of Kiss, so you know, all I know is Ace Frehley, and that's it.
Yeah, and they bring it, man. They bring it. It's just like I totally recommend anyone check out Dee Snider's new music. You know, if you get a chance.
So will Dee Snider's coffee be as great as his music?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Question.
So I'm gonna pour it in my signature Eric Warmonger cup. So yes,
nice.
You know.
And if anybody out there has tried the coffee and has their own opinion about it, email us at genxbros@gmail.com or leave a comment. If this is on YouTube or wherever you're watching or listening this, leave a comment and let us know your opinion.
It smells really good. So, and another thing I want to touch base on is the company puts these coffees out, like a lot of rock stars and stuff have their own coffee. Matter of fact, I just ordered the Kiss one, coming in the mail pretty soon, but I think like the Kiss ones, I don't think they're involved in it, but Dee Snider was really involved in the creation of the beans of this one. And I think,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because there's a big deal going on now where like some of the coffee companies are using like slave labor to pick the cocoa bean, or not the cocoa beans, the coffee beans, you know, in Mexico and South America and things like that.
No, Dee and his whole band, they go out there and pick the beans. Like Dee and his band goes out there and picks the beans for them. So
Dee Snider does everything, man.
So he just sits back and lets his guitar player and then like pick the beans. Get out there and work, bitch.
Yeah.
Pick me those beans.
Be on the next tour, you got to work for
it. And so the company that puts these out is called Dead Sled Coffee, and so they have a lot of great different. Like if you go on their website, they have all the different. They have now, which I just got last night, the Ace Frehley one, but they have the Kiss solo, you know, from the solo albums.
Okay, so it's the same coffee company representing different musicians.
Yeah, different musicians and bands. And
so then they get to kind of pick their own blend and
I'm just wondering if Kiss is involved in that one, because they have a bunch of different Kiss ones, but I just can't imagine Gene Simmons going and picking out a bunch of beans or whatever, but I don't know.
I could see him trying it. Like him, the other band members probably not, but Gene Simmons is pretty good at being very articulate with the things he invests in. You know?
That's true. Be like, hey, Gene, can we put your name on this? Is it going to make me money? Yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un calls him up. Hey, Gene, we're going to put your name on the missile. Will it make me money? Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Make sure you put my name, put my face the largest.
All right, so let's try this. For the love of coffee, for the love of Dee Snider, Twisted Sister, and the whole entire
don't do a spit take. Don't spit it out.
Mm-hmm. I want to rock.
I want to rock.
It's really good. Yeah. And I
now,
drink it. I drink my coffee black. Does that make
you want to stay hungry, or
it makes me want to stay hungry?
We'll reference the coffee to all of his songs.
Definitely makes me want to rock. So, not knowing exactly what kind of beans I guess I should read the package. What kind of beans they are, but I don't have my reader glasses on.
Hey, you're not going to take it anymore, okay?
Yeah. It's really good though. It's got a good flavor. So I drink my coffee black, and sometimes a lot of coffee that's black just kind of tastes the same. But this, you can actually taste some pretty neat flavors coming through here. Because even Starbucks, I'll drink the Starbucks ones and they'll say hints of chocolate or whatever, hints of marshmallow, but you don't really taste that. But this definitely has some flavor. So this looks like it's.
So you're supposed to say that is a tasty coffee.
That is a tasty coffee. Yeah. So it looks like it's a medium roast or it's a. I'm not really good at reading like labels on the side of coffee, but yeah.
Yeah, neither am I.
Yeah, check it out. So get Dee Snider's For the Love of Coffee. We're gonna put the link.
So what do you think? Is it something that you would drink all the time?
Yeah,
is it something
I'm gonna order another bag because I want to keep this bag, because it's autographed. So I'm gonna, even though I opened it up and I'm gonna put it away and let it rot, let the coffee inside rot. And
since you already ruined it with.
Well, most people collect things because they want to sell it one day. Whereas me, I have a lot of collectible stuff. I even have his CD. Leave a scar autographed or whatever, but I would never sell it. I can't see myself parting with the stuff, so I think it's cooler. It's just as a fan to be able to have stuff like that, whereas most people just want to collect it and then sell it. If I do, if I do get desperate, I need to sell it, and I open this up, and this is going for like $100,000, then I guess I'll take $50,000 for it since it's open already. But
take a little bit less.
Yeah. 10 years from now, 10 years from now, autographed coffee from Dee Snider, $100,000 on eBay.
How many of those did he sign? 100,000 of them?
Yeah, I sold 300, so it's limited to 300. So that's going to make it even more in demand, and and it's not that expensive. It was $12 a bag. I think this was 12, and then plus shipping or something. So
now, do you think he actually drinks it?
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Or did he just taste it but like every morning, because some people like us in our old age, you're kind of set in your ways. Like if you're a Folgers person, you kind of drink Folgers.
I'm pretty sure he does. I think I've seen him comment to a few fans on Twitter, and he explained it really well, like what goes into it and the taste of it and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right,
so Dee Snider, check out his coffee, rocking out to the music. You get hyped up. I wonder if it has, do you think it has a higher content of caffeine?
Probably.
Do you think you're going to get more energetic?
Probably. It depends on the roast so I got to read it later, but because I just found this out that the light roast or the blonde roast, if you will, is what is the most caffeinated. I always used to always buy dark roast coffee. Because I thought the blacker it is, the more energetic it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
You know what I mean? But if someone told me about it, it's like, no, you got to get, because I was going to get the blonde roast one day of Starbucks, but I thought, because it looked cool. It looked with the packaging and stuff. But it says light roast. And so I thought, but this lady told me, it's like, no, that's like, you'd be bouncing off the walls. And so this is definitely giving me some energy. So this must be like a medium roast.
And who is this lady to confirm this information?
This is actually one of my clients.
Okay. So. I think we better double check that because I always thought dark roast.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
It was more
because there's a Death Wish coffee, which is supposed to be the strongest coffee in the world, and I've had that before.
Why does everything strong have to have the word death in it?
Yeah, right. and I've had Death Wish coffee, and that is pretty strong, but it's really black and dark. But yeah, this is good flavor. Good job, Dee.
And you're telling me that it actually tastes better in a Warmonger mug,
yes, in a
versus a regular coffee mug.
Check it out. Released in 2020. My number one hit. I'm a one-hit wonder. 20,000.
Eric's fucking full of self-promotion.
The riff is very reminiscent to 2 Minutes to Midnight from Iron Maiden.
Yeah. So if you want a copy of Iron Maiden and their coffee and their mug, then go see Eric in the back alley. He'll sell it to you for $20.